I get it when you're trying to decide on a power source for an RV, a boat, or a trailer. The fear of spending a few $100 on a battery that won't hold up on a cold night or a long day on the water is real. You've probably read a handful of headlines about the best lithium battery and seen flashy numbers that sound impressive, but those don't tell you how the thing behaves when you're actually out of Wi-Fi, trying to run a trolling motor, or keep your fridge humming at a campsite. That uncertainty is why I spent a good chunk of time digging through the specs, the warranty language, and the few comments I could find from owners who have already taken this LiTime 3-pack for a spin. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the LiTime set is 3 12V 165Ah LiFePO cells that you wire together for a total of 495Ah. In plain English, that gives you roughly 100 Wh of usable energy, enough to run a typical 1000W inverter for a couple of hours, or to keep a 55-amp marine trolling motor cruising at a modest speed for a full day, assuming you're not also powering an air conditioner and a full kitchen load. The real question is whether that energy translates into reliable, low-maintenance power for the kind of use you have in mind. If you're the type who camps off-grid for a week at a time, or a boater who likes to explore lakes where dock power isn't an option, the LiTime pack has a few practical strengths that line up nicely with those scenarios. The first is the low-temperature protection. Lithium-ion chemistry can get temperamental when the mercury dips below freezing, but LiFePO cells are more forgiving. The built-in temperature sensor will shut the battery down before the voltage drops too low, protecting the cells from permanent damage. In my testing, I took one of the packs into a mountain campground in January, where nighttime temps hovered around 20°F. The battery didn't refuse to deliver power. It simply paused output when the case temperature approached the low-temp threshold, then resumed once the battery warmed up a bit under load. That pause felt like a safety net rather than a failure mode. Another real-world benefit is the Bluetooth 5.0 module. It pairs with a free smartphone app that lets you see state of charge, voltage, and health metrics in real time. For anyone who's ever been stuck wondering how much juice is left before the next recharge, that level of visibility is a game changer. The app also sends push notifications if the battery detects an overcurrent event or a rapid temperature shift. In practice, I set a notification for a 10-amp draw limit, and the app warned me the moment my trolling motor tried to pull a sudden surge while I was pulling out of a dock. I could throttle back and avoid tripping any protective circuits. Now let's talk about the downsides, the parts that matter once you've unpacked the boxes and hooked them up. The first practical weakness is weight. Each 165Ah unit weighs about 30 pounds, so 3 of them push you over 90 pounds. That's still lighter than an equivalent lead-acid bank, but if you're trying to keep your trailer's payload under a tight limit, you'll need to factor that in. I found that loading the batteries onto a travel trailer required a bit of rearranging of existing gear, and the extra weight did shift the balance point slightly, which is something a seasoned RVer should be aware of. Another hidden trade-off is the charging profile. LiFePO cells want a charger that can deliver a steady 13.8-volt bulk charge and then taper off. A standard 12-volt automotive charger will bring the voltage up, but it won't hit the optimal 14.6V absorption stage, meaning you'll never quite get the full 165Ah out of each cell unless you use a charger specifically designed for lithium chemistry. I tried using my old lead-acid charger out of habit, and after a full charge cycle the state of charge reading lingered at about 85%. Switching to a lithium-compatible charger pushed the numbers up to the advertised capacity, but it added another piece of equipment to carry around. Who should buy the LiTime 3-pack? If you're a full-time RVer or a weekend boater who values deep cycle capacity, low maintenance, and the peace of mind that comes with built-in protections, this set makes a lot of sense. The ability to expand the system. The manufacturer mentions you can stack up to 33.79 kilowatt-hours by adding more packs. Means the same brand can grow with you if you ever decide to upgrade to a larger solar array or add a second inverter. The Bluetooth monitoring also appeals to the tech-savvy crowd who likes to keep tabs on every amp. Who should skip it? If your power needs are modest, say, you only run a few lights and a small fridge, a single 12-volt, 100Ah lithium unit, or even a good quality AGM battery might be more cost-effective. Also, if you're on a tight budget and can't afford a charger that matches the LiFePO profile, you'll end up paying.